Have you ever had that feeling, that deep down frustration where you just know you're doing everything right? I mean, you are following every single rule you have ever heard about losing weight. But when you look for the results, there is just nothing. It is more than just frustrating, isn't it? It can feel really defeating. You start to question everything. You start to wonder if there is something fundamentally wrong with you, with your body, or maybe with your willpower. I want you to know something really important today. Something might be a little out of sync. That part is true, but I can almost guarantee you it is not your willpower.
I mean, think about it. You have been so careful, so diligent. You are consciously eating less. You are trying to move your body more. Maybe you have tried all the popular diets that your friends are talking about. You are the one who politely says no to dessert when everyone else at the table is digging in. You are absolutely putting in the effort. You are showing up for yourself every single day, making those small, tough choices that are supposed to add up. You are genuinely trying to do everything by the book. It takes a lot of mental energy to do that day in and day out, doesn't it?
And yet, after all of that effort, after all of that sacrifice, you step on the scale in the morning, holding your breath a little bit, and that number just stares right back at you, completely, stubbornly unchanged. Or sometimes, and this is the worst feeling of all, it has actually gone up a little bit. You just feel completely exhausted by it all, you feel totally confused, and you really start to wonder if maybe your body is just broken in some way. It is a feeling that can make you want to throw in the towel and just give up entirely. Okay, let's take a deep breath and dive into this together. Because the real answer, the thing that almost nobody is talking about when it comes to weight loss, it is not about your motivation. It is not some kind of personal failing on your part. The key might be something deep inside of you that you have probably never even considered. Something called your internal body clock. And when this incredibly important clock is off schedule, studies suggest that weight loss can become nearly impossible no matter how hard you try.
So what exactly is this mysterious body clock I am talking about? Now, I want to be really clear. This is not some new age idea or a passing health trend. This is actually one of the most researched and most important areas in metabolic science today. It is a fundamental part of your biology that controls almost every single process in your body, and it has a huge influence on how you use energy and, maybe more importantly, how you store it. Think of it as the master conductor of your body's entire orchestra.
And just to show you how important this is not just a theory. We are talking about Nobel Prize-winning science. Back in 2017, the absolute highest honor in medicine was given to 3 scientists who discovered the precise molecular mechanisms that control our internal clock. What they found was truly revolutionary. They proved that almost every single cell in your body, from your brain cells to your liver cells, and yes, even your fat cells, has its own tiny little clock. And for your body to work properly, all of these millions of tiny clocks need to be perfectly in sync.
This entire system of interconnected clocks is called your circadian rhythm. The easiest way to think about it is like your body's internal 24-hour calendar or schedule. It is a master program that has been evolving for millions of years, and it tells your body what to do and, crucially, when to do it. Its main job is to coordinate everything, telling your body when it is time to be active and burn fuel for energy, and when it is time to slow everything down, to repair your cells and to restore your energy for the next day. And what is the #1 signal from the outside world that sets this master clock every single day? It is light.
This brings us to a really fundamental idea. Your body essentially has 2 very different modes of operation. During the day, triggered by morning light hitting your eyes, your body clicks into what we can call day mode. In this mode, your energy is high, your metabolism is revved up, and all the enzymes responsible for fat burning are at their absolute peak. Your digestion is active and ready to process food as efficiently as possible. But then, as darkness falls, your body gets the signal to shift into night mode. In this mode, everything slows way down. This is the time for repair, restoration, and cleanup. Fat storage actually becomes more active, and your digestion becomes very slow and sluggish. Your body is basically sending out a memo to all your cells that says, the kitchen is now closed for the night.
This is where most people get confused, and it is where all the problems really begin. You see, the system itself is perfect. It is ancient, it is powerful, and it is hardwired deep into our DNA. But our modern life creates a massive conflict with this ancient system. We are constantly, and usually accidentally, sending our bodies the wrong signals at the completely wrong times. And this is what can effectively break the clock, leaving it totally confused about what time it is and what it is supposed to be doing. Let's just look at how this mismatch plays out in a very typical modern day.
This slide really does a great job of highlighting the huge difference. Our bodies are biologically programmed for an ideal rhythm. You wake up, you get some natural sunlight, you eat your meals earlier in the day when your digestion is strong, you start to wind down as it gets dark outside, and you go to sleep at a consistent time. But what does our modern rhythm usually look like? We wake up indoors, often in a dimly lit room. Maybe we skip breakfast because we are in a rush. We eat our largest meal of the day very late at night, and then we stare at bright blue light from our phone or TV screens right before we try to fall asleep. Every single one of these common modern habits sends a deeply confusing signal to our body clock.
And a confused clock quickly leads to biological chaos. First, you get what we can call hormone havoc. A hormone called ghrelin, which is the one that makes you feel hungry, its levels go up. At the same time, a hormone called leptin, which is the one that tells your brain you are full, its levels go down. So what is the result? You end up feeling hungrier and far less satisfied, especially late at night. Your main stress hormone, cortisol, can stay high in the evening when it should be at its lowest, which directly signals your body to store fat, particularly around your belly. Even the friendly bacteria in your gut, which also run on a 24-hour clock, they get thrown off schedule and can shift to a state that is less efficient at helping you digest and more prone to storing fat. It all adds up to a significant metabolic slowdown. This is something most people never find out.
The research on this is just absolutely fascinating. Top institutions like Harvard and the Salk Institute have found something pretty incredible. They ran studies where people ate the exact same number of calories, the exact same foods, just at different times of the day. And the results were stunning. The group that ate their meals earlier in the day consistently lost significantly more weight and showed much better metabolic health markers. I want you to really let that sink in. The food did not change, the calories did not change, only the timing did. This tells us that timing is not just a small factor in weight management, in some cases it can be the most important one. Okay, we have covered a lot so far. We know the problem is real, and we know it is rooted in our ancient biology clashing with our modern life. But the most important part is coming right now. So stay with me, because what comes next can completely change the way you think about your health. The really good news in all of this is you can fix this. You can actually reset your clock, and it does not require a crazy restrictive diet or an impossible exercise plan. It is all about learning to work with your body, not constantly fighting against it.
Here are the 4 most powerful steps that science suggests can help you reset your internal clock. First, get morning sunlight. Just 10 to 15 minutes of natural light directly in your eyes within about an hour of waking up is one of the strongest signals you can possibly send to your master clock to start the day. Second, try to shift your eating window a bit earlier. This does not have to be extreme. Just aim to have your last meal of the day before 8 p.m. if possible. This gives your digestive system hours of rest overnight. Third, set a consistent sleep time. This is a big one. Going to bed and waking up around the same time, yes, even on weekends, creates a stable and predictable rhythm for your body. And fourth, power down your screens at least an hour before you go to bed. That bright blue light from phones, tablets, and TVs can actually block the production of your main sleep hormone, melatonin, which keeps your body stuck in day mode when it should be winding down for sleep.
Now let us see how this connects to our everyday life, specifically our food choices. We can also support our internal clock with the specific foods we choose to eat. For example, eating a good source of protein in the morning, things like eggs, lentils, or plain Greek yogurt, has been shown to help anchor your clock for the day, and it keeps your blood sugar stable. Throughout the day, eating foods that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, like fatty fish such as salmon, or plant-based sources like flax seeds and walnuts, can actually support the molecular clock machinery inside your cells. And then in the evening, foods that are high in magnesium, like leafy greens such as spinach or a handful of pumpkin seeds, can help your body produce its own melatonin naturally, which helps prepare you for a really good night of sleep.
And just as there are foods that help, there are also habits that we know are particularly disruptive to our clock. Eating large, heavy meals late at night is probably one of the worst offenders. It forces your entire digestive system to work overtime when it is biologically programmed to be resting and repairing. Having caffeine after 2 p.m. can be a problem for many people because it can stay in your system for hours and delay your body's natural sleep signals. Evening alcohol might make you feel a bit sleepy at first, but research shows it actually disrupts the quality of your deep sleep, which is when all that important cellular repair is supposed to happen. And frequent ultra-processed foods have been linked in studies to what scientists are now calling social jet lag, a state where your body's clock and your life schedule are constantly out of sync.
All of this science is really interesting to talk about, but what does it actually look like in the real world, in a real person's life? Let us look at an example of how making just a few small changes to timing can completely transform someone's health journey. And you can see the true power of timing in action.
But before we do that, we need to bust a huge and very common myth. Most people believe that eating late at night is only a problem if you eat too many calories, if you overeat. But the science is becoming very clear on this. Your body processes the exact same meal with the exact same number of calories completely differently at 8 in the morning versus 8 at night. Your sensitivity to insulin is different, your production of digestive enzymes is different, your hormone levels are different. The timing itself changes everything about how that food impacts your body.
So let me tell you about David. David was 38 years old and had a demanding desk job that kept him indoors most of the day. He had been trying to lose weight for years with very little success. He really thought he was doing the right things. He was even trying intermittent fasting. But his eating window was always late at night, usually between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. His sleep schedule was all over the place, and his mornings were always spent entirely indoors, never seeing the sun. He felt completely stuck and deeply frustrated. Does any of that sound even a little bit familiar to you?
So after learning about how his circadian rhythm worked, David decided to try a very simple experiment on himself. He made a deal with himself. He was not going to change what he ate, at all. He simply changed when he ate. He shifted his eating window to be from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and he started just one other small habit, a simple 10-minute walk outside every single morning to get that important natural sunlight. That was literally it. No new diet, no new foods, no calorie counting.
And the result of this simple change was truly remarkable. Within just 6 weeks, David had lost 4 kilograms. That is almost 9 pounds. But it was not just the weight. He told me he was not feeling hungry all the time anymore. His energy levels during the day were much more stable, and he completely stopped craving snacks late at night. He said it felt like his metabolism had finally woken up and switched back on. Once you understand this, it can bring a big change in your life.
And the real key takeaway from his story is this: the only thing he changed was his timing. His body was never broken. His willpower was never the problem. His body was simply out of sync with its own natural biological rhythm. The moment he started working with his body's clock, instead of constantly fighting against it, his body responded exactly as it was designed to. He finally gave his body the right signals at the right time.
And this leads us to a really powerful question to leave you with today. We all spend so much time and so much energy focusing on what is on our plate, counting every calorie, worrying about every single food rule. But what if the real key, what if the very first step to finally losing the weight and feeling better is not about the food in your kitchen, but about the timing on your clock? Your health is not a destination you arrive at one day. It is a direction you choose every single day. Small awareness, small choices, small habits, they quietly add up to something much bigger than you realize right now. If this gave you even one useful thought, share it with one person who needs to hear this. That one share can bring this awareness to someone silently struggling, and it helps Wellness Geeks reach more people who truly need this. Like this video and subscribe to Wellness Geeks. If this brought real value to your health journey, look for the join button next to the Wellness Geeks logo below this video. Click it and become a member of the Wellness Support Circle. Your support gives Wellness Geeks the strength to keep going. Thank you so much for watching and caring about your health.